Welcome to the Hood Talks podcast. It's been a little minute. It's been a minute since we did a live show, but we back and we back with the best topic of them all. Motherhood. Y'all, we talking all things motherhood today. Ain't no hood like motherhood. Hey, so first I do want to kind of talk about the shirt giveaway that we do every time we do a live show. We do have a shirt to offer for the winner. How to get into the drawing? You must share this live. I'm gonna repeat this again later on if people are joining us, but you must share this live, comments in the comment section of this video done, and you have to be following us on Facebook. That way I will be able to see if you who you are and how you shared. Again, share this live and comment done in the comment section. All right, and make sure that you are following the Hood Talks podcast page on Facebook. Again, y'all, I'm so happy to be here with these lovely ladies, these lovely mamas. Happy belated Mother's Day to you all, and to all the moms that's watching also. We are here and partnering with SSM Moms Group, an organization that is dear to my heart, one that really helped me the first year after having my first. I appreciate the Moms Group. I'm still very active in the Moms Group, but I'm so happy again to have this show to talk about this topic because I think it's very important, and I'm glad these ladies have joined us to also have this conversation and let us in a little bit on their personal journeys. So we're going to get the show going. We're going to start by introductions. I'm going to let these ladies tell you who they are and a little about them. And we're going to go ahead and let Miss Shantanay, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself, please, and thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I am Shantanay. I am mom of one little boy. He will be 2 on Father's Day on June 20th next month. Yeah, I kind of got into the moms group through one of my therapists. She is like awesome. I had a couple bad experiences with a couple therapists before her, and I couldn't really afford her at the time. So when money got back right, I was able to afford her. And she gave me one of these resources when I was just really down and out, and I was going through my postpartum depression and all that good stuff. And it has been like God sent from heaven, because I've even actually got on a couple of times while I was at work, because it was just like I had some downtime. So it's just been really, really helpful to connect with other moms that are going through what you're going through when you think you're going through something that no one will understand. It really is just like a little community of moms, and I have absolutely loved it. So yeah, that's how I am here today.
Yes, yes, and I'm so happy you are joining us. Thank you. And then Miss J, can you please, with the pretty little one that you're holding, introduce yourself?
All right, peace. Well, I am the goddess Queen Jamila Sanique, Mama Shai Baru Valentine. That's my full name, but Jamila or Miss J is fine. Or you can call me any variation of that, God, Queen, Mama, whatever. So I am a mom of two. I'm a girl mom. So I just had this little
Hey,
baby.
girl, mom.
Girl mom, yes. I got the girly thing down, so I'm so thankful to have girls because I'm like, what I'm gonna do with it if it was a boy? But I got girls, so we cool. Yeah, she's almost a month old, and then my oldest is 3. So I would consider myself to be like a new mom since it's under 5 years. Let me see. After my after I had my first kid, I learned about postpartum depression. I didn't even know that that was like a thing. Really, it was more so like a postpartum like anxiety. But whatever it was, I needed help. I was trying everything like natural. Because I wasn't really with like taking medication. So, of course I did the counseling, the breathing, the yoga, and all of that. And then, then just reaching out from support. I came across the moms group. Shout out to Jamal Burke Village for women of color, yes, or just all women too. But it's definitely a great community for just more cultural women. And so that's when I came across the moms group. And then I'm like, okay, I already have that support. So I just reached back out to my supporters for this other baby. And things been going a lot better as far as that. Now, outside of being a mom, I'm a educator, social worker, still a student, but I also teach too. So that's me.
We definitely hold so many titles, and motherhood is just one of those. So thank you again for being here also and gracing the stage. And Miss Latanya, can you please introduce yourself, please? And thank you for being here also.
Hello, my name is Latanya Ivy. I am a mother earthbound of one. I have 2 angel babies. Lamarielle happens to be my rainbow baby, and I love her so very much. She's so precocious and energetic, and I just love it. Yeah, motherhood is one of those things that's like the hardest thing you'll ever do, but like it makes you the happiest. I'm a new mom, so I've always been a great aunt, but being a mother is a whole different animal all by itself.
Yes,
So I just absolutely love it. I am a participant of the Jama Birth Village. That's where I got my support from before I had her and afterwards. And yeah, it's just a wonderful feeling to be able to go into an environment where people understand the difficulties and the stress that go along with being a mom so that you don't feel so bad and so alone. I love it. I miss the face-to-face interactions and the hugging and all of that, but we'll get back there soon. But I still attend when I can. I'm Latanya and this is Lamarielle.
Hey, honey. And sorry for messing up your name, Latanya. I so apologize. But thank you for giving me grace on that. Yes, Miss Kim, how are you? And thank you for partnering with me on this show. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm so grateful that we get to be here and shine a spotlight on these amazing moms and our moms group. So I'm Kim Martino Sexton. I'm the coordinator of the Moms Line, and the Moms Line provides, not only peer telephone coaching, we also provide these amazing moms groups that had to move to Zoom when everything shut down. We're still on Zoom, but we're going to make our way back to in person soon. And I'll just say that I'm a mom of 2, and my kids are now 20 and 25 years old. And I struggled with postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. And as a result of that, really changed my whole career in life and started working with moms and trying to figure out how to help moms lessen the struggle. My goal has always been to help moms get support early so that they don't have to struggle as much as I did, if possible. So that's why I do the work that I do, and I'm grateful to be here.
Well, again, you all, I am so grateful that you all are here. We're going to get into this conversation. Let me say one more time, and shout out to you all for wearing your shirts. They are rocking the Hood Talks podcast shirt. That is our special Ain't No Hood Like Motherhood edition shirts. So thank you, ladies, for rocking that. If you want to get in on winning a shirt, please, again, share this live, comment done in the comment section, and go ahead and make sure that you're following the Hood Talks podcast here on Facebook, okay? Because I will be doing a drawing after the show to give a shirt to someone for free. So again, make sure that you share the live, comment done in the comment section, and are following us on Facebook. Well, now, ladies, that we done got that out the way, let's get into the fun part. Let's talk all about motherhood. I do want to like kind of shed a light and give you all space to talk about your motherhood journey, and how you know, the process of, you know, being pregnant, you know, if there were struggles, experiences that you feel like needs to be highlighted during your journey, the process afterwards, right now, the pandemic, like just all of the things that come around with being a mom. And Shantae, we'll let you go ahead and start off since we started with you before.
All good.
Yeah.
So I think I had some type of depression while I was pregnant, but I really didn't recognize it as that while I was pregnant. I was just kind of stressed out about the support I was going to have, if I was going to be able to raise my baby by myself, if that was the direction that I ended up going down. It was just a lot. I was just a hot mess. On top of that, I went to, I think, like a 39-week checkup or something for my son, and they saw that like my blood pressure was a little high. They're like, oh, let's just run some tests to be sure. So I'm like, okay, let's hurry up. You know, I got a doctor, you know, I got a, you know, hair appointment, you know, because I'm thinking they're gonna run tests, I'm gonna be all good. No, something was going on with my liver, so they had to induce me. Then after being induced, I ended up having to have a C-section. So of course, none of that was planned. I've never been stung by a bee, broken a bone. So I was just like, how is this gonna go? So just it was just hard coming home and having to, I was breastfeeding, so having to roll out of bed and breastfeed and in the middle of the night, and it was just so painful. And I remember just crying like all day, every day. Like I was just a mess. I also have a little dog, so I felt like I was neglecting him, taking him out on his walks when I was supposed to, and all of that. So it was really, really hard. And also with me, I guess, not knowing, God dang it, not knowing my, like, that I was going through postpartum depression at the time. I didn't like, I believe it was Jamila who said it. It was like I didn't recognize it as that at the time. So I was just like, you know, talking to my doctor, like, I don't know, you know, I was doing like a little test and everything, and she was like, do you want to try medication? And I was trying to stay away from that just because it's kind of, you know, looked down upon in a way. And just especially with looking, like, even with therapists, I was like, well, you know, I'm fine. I'll be okay, you know? So I'm just sad. I thought it was situational things going on, you know, well, I'm adjusting to motherhood. I'm adjusting to going back to work full time. I'm adjusting to, you know, just taking care of another human being, you know?
Saying, adjusting to the birthing experience. You, like you said, you didn't know that you was going to have your baby. You were like really just in for a checkup. Like, hey.
Yes, I was literally in for it. Yes, come on, I gotta go get my hair done. You know, like I had a hair appointment thinking I was going to get to leave. So I was just like, all of that was just so unexpected. So I was just like, it was just the adjustment of it when things don't go the way you expect them to go. So it was just a lot. And I eventually did end up getting on medication because like nothing was working. Like I literally was going to work, crying, coming back out, helping people and crying. Like it was just a lot. And you know, financially I was stressed. It was just a lot to adjust to. So I did end up getting on medication, and I did, my friend was like, oh, I think we have a, you know, a little therapy session through our job where we could, like, you know, like the job will cover it. So I did that.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So, yes. And I'm like, okay, great. This should be awesome. So I looked up a couple places, and one of them, it was just a little too expensive for me. So I was like, okay, I'll have to go through the other ladies. Weren't the greatest experiences. It was just kind of like, oh, well, I was given 2 kids to take care of on my own, or, you know, well, everyone feels like this, or why don't you try meal prepping and all this and that? And it's just like, that's not helping.
I'm not you. How you gonna tell me?
And it's how I should be feeling.
Kudos to you, sister, for continuing to look for therapies. Because some people would have stopped right there and been like, "Oh no."
Yes.
So kudos to you for because that's one thing I love to highlight is that every therapist ain't for you, and so you have to just keep pushing through. And so kudos. Because
and I did want to give up. Yes, like it kind of makes you feel like like what you're going through is like a minimal thing, like kind of minimizing your pain or what you're going. It's just like, oh, okay, well, yes, yeah, like my experience is different. I've never been a mom before. I didn't know I was going to be doing it by myself. I didn't know I was going to have the lack of support that I'm having. I didn't know I was going to have a C-section. Like, it was just so much. So then I tried another therapist who was telling me to try meal prepping and all this and that. And it's just like, well, her kids that she was talking about, they weren't even my son's age. Like, my son wasn't even one at the time. So how was meal prep? He ain't even eating, like, you know, grown people food right now. So,
Right.
you know, like, what is that doing for me? He's not even eating table food right now. I'm still fixing bottles. What are you talking about? So, during this time, mind you, I had gained almost like 40 pounds during my pregnancy. I lost that and then some after I had my son. So I was very skinny. I didn't like my body and how I looked, and it was just, I'm just trying to crawl out of this hole. So I just felt like this is never going to end. I'm never going to get out of it, you know, and it was hard. And I ended up going back to the therapist who I couldn't afford, who actually got me into the mom's group. And she just highlighted so many things. I had this really, really nice lady that was a neighbor of mine, still is a neighbor of mine, and she just was bringing me food and house supplies and all this without me even asking. So I just kind of started opening up to her. She would watch my son for me, and I would just have like, oh, I'm about to go to the grocery store. I'm about to go do this or that or whatever. So it was nice to have some type of support, and I did eventually start getting out of my funk, as I could call it. But yeah, it was just a tough experience for me.
And it is motherhood. The society glamorifies it as if, you know, it's supposed to be this beautiful, pretty thing, and that's what we're expecting.
Easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
everybody should be doing it.
Yes.
You get it, and you're in reality of it, and you like, this is not what the heck I thought it was gonna be.
Hold on.
This is not real. Like, wait a minute.
Yes.
What happened to the flowers and
and roses and
the roses?
you know,
I said, where's the village? As I thought they was gonna come knock at my door, like, hey, we're here. You had the baby, because it takes a village. It takes so what they did. I had her. So
y'all was there when I was pregnant. Like, what's going on? Y'all
and they were there.
Okay, speak on that.
They were there.
Yeah, speak on that, because it's like when you're pregnant, everybody's all like, you know, buying you a meal here. They're just like, oh, they want to touch your belly. Like, you get so much attention and conversation. But then, like, you go to the doctor so much for yourself. But then as soon as you had a baby, they like, yeah, okay, we was seeing you every week for 6 weeks. Right. And you had the baby. Nobody even, when they see you out, they don't speak to you. They be like, oh, hi. I'm like, they're like, she's such a, I'm like, how you doing? They just like, hi, baby. I'm like, oh.
Like, I ain't talking to me. Yeah, you ain't even there. It's like when you die and when you're pregnant, right? They see you in belly and they want to take care of you after the baby. They just there to see the baby. Like, oh, the baby's cute.
Yes, but, oh, the baby's cute. Okay, well, I'll see you later. You're like, wait, hold on. Can you?
Yes, but go ahead, Miss J. Tell us about your pregnancy journey. I know you hopped in on that conversation, so come on, girl, tell us. Look, she's in motherhood duty as we speak. See, this is real.
Okay, because my toddler is over here tickling my feet. Stop.
That is motherhood. Perfectly good example. You heard me? Holding your little one while your other one bothering you.
So I guess I'm let me get my babysitter YouTube to kind of
YouTube is the babysitter. It be like that sometimes, y'all. Like, people be like, "Oh, you know, babe," and then let's talk about mom shaming. I can't stand that ish. Like, why do we have to do that? Oh, your baby's watching TV. Why? Why are your baby doing that? Or why are you breastfeeding? Or why are you bottle feeding? Why are you doing that? Why are you, like, can we not?
Even while you're pregnant, they try to tell you what to eat and all of that. And I'm like, okay, well, my doctor said I was okay to eat hot stuff while I'm pregnant. Okay, like it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's like when you get pregnant, you do what you want to do, okay? And when you ain't pregnant, or if you're not pregnant, let me be, please.
Right. I listened to my doctor. Like, people were like trying to scare me half to death. Like, I don't know.
Yes, I know this world, society has really done us a deal when we talk about motherhood.
Yes.
And we've fallen victim into that. We have. But go ahead, Miss Jake. Tell us about your journey.
Okay, well, so I had both my kids naturally. I think with my first, I labored the whole time at the hospital with my first, but with this one, I labored at home. But I think about 8 hours into my labor with my first, they were like, "You want us to give you something?" And it was something called finna, something with the finna something. And her dad was there. He was like, "Ain't that some street drugs?" They was like, "It'll take the edge off." I was like, "Yes."
He said yes, real quick.
Yes, give it to me. But yeah, I did have both my girls vaginally, naturally, full term. Go back in your room, please. And it went well. So from having 2 pregnancies, I think that during being pregnant is just awful for me. I don't really like it. I don't really care for it. I think I'm great at giving birth because just being able to do it naturally, it just went well. Breastfeeding goes well. Really, a lot of it is my emotions. Is probably like the biggest part. I worked through both pregnancies just because let me see, I had my first kid probably around 27, 28. So I had been working, like I was a career independent woman, out here making it happen for myself, even though I was had a partner or whatever, but I've always worked. So I was, deep into my career and trying to do that. But then becoming a mom was just like, dang, like just kind of changed things. So, and then like the expectation that I work at my full capacity while being pregnant, like, it's like, this is a temporary disability. Like, why are you guys I don't know, like some people care that you're pregnant, and then sometimes the care isn't there when you are a professional, and the expectation is that you have to do your job. I know the second time I was pregnant, my girlfriends literally like talk about the village. Ooh, baby, the girls, shout out to my goddesses, the goddesses of Giza, the goddess circle, and just some of my friends and family, but definitely my sisters, they kind of reached out to me. They was just like, "Hey, I know you used to be in Superwoman, but you cannot be Superwoman with you cannot be Superwoman and pregnant. Like, you got to take the cape off because you got the baby and you trying to keep up with everything." And like Shantanae was saying, like it's even recognizing when you need help because you just used to going, you just, Black women, well, all women really, but being Black, you gotta get out here and you gotta get it, regardless of how. Like, I remember being pregnant and other older women would say, "Oh, you could do it because back in slavery, women was pregnant or they had them babies on their back and they was still out in the field, blah, blah, blah." Like, sis, okay, I might not be in the field in the heat, but shoot, I'm up here in the field on this job all damn day. Like,
we got some battles too, still today. Yes, that we're dealing with. Yes, birthing our babies. Yes, so some hard situations. Yeah, it ain't like you said, might not be like slavery days. But I would say nowadays, I feel like sometimes these employments can be the new slavery. Because they want you to work.
Okay, it's been modernized for sure.
Yep.
But so yeah, being pregnant, I wasn't too crazy about. Like, I'm sick. I was sick like all the time. And it's just amazing, like what all the body like goes through. It's like I could smell something, be sick, eat some, maybe she like it, maybe she don't. But I'm just so glad it's over. My whole pregnancy, I just be not miserable, like, like, oh yes, it's life. I'm carrying a
It's
baby.
not you're not yourself. Your body is not yours alone. It definitely changes in pregnancy and afterwards too. You still be trying to figure out your body. Like after you drop that baby, you ain't really fully back together. Like when they be talking about 6 weeks going back to work. How? Like literally how? I'm not ready.
Yeah, no.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, is it right, Kim? Your body. Go ahead.
Breastfeeding is a whole nother thing. So
that's a whole
I do really well with milk. Like my toddler breastfed from the time she was born up until like through my first trimester with her. So my breast literally been working for almost 4 years now. Yes. My brother be teasing me time out. I know your boobs like another one. But hey, I thought they were, made for Fenty Savage, push-up bras, but I was actually giving them to feed my children. Yeah. And so it works.
It's another job. That is another job. But I just wanted to say, Kim, isn't we say that it literally takes a year for a woman's body to get back to some sense of normalcy after pregnancy. And they're like,
absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think I heard that in the moms group after I had my 3-year-old, but then just from going through the changes and the adjusting to being a mother, I've definitely, I would say 6 months to a year. It's like, oh, okay, I feel normal again. Now, this time around, my second, I've definitely learned a lot. So I'm definitely feeling a lot more like myself because I have that knowledge and wisdom and understanding from being a mom. Thank you, Lord. Oh, goodness. Yes. So happy about that because
well, Miss Latanya, Miss Latanya, I'm still saying it wrong. I know I did. I said it wrong. Look, I'm sorry.
Latanya.
It's fine either way. I grew up all through school being Latanya, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, for me it was crazy because, like I said, Mari is my rainbow baby. So roughly 6 months after I lost the first baby, I was pregnant with her. It was like, what? Wait a minute.
And let me explain real quick what is a rainbow baby for people who do not know. A rainbow baby is a baby who is birthed after a loss. So like maybe after a miscarriage, or maybe your baby didn't make it to full term at all, or maybe your baby made it to full term and still passed away. So having a baby after the loss of another one is what we call rainbow babies. So
thank you for that. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
But it was crazy. I wasn't expecting her number one. I still was grieving the first loss. So, the first time I was like so ecstatic because I had been trying for years and it never happened. And this came out the blue. And then it ended and it's just like, okay, it's sad for me to say because I actually did not even get excited about knowing that I was pregnant again because I had got so ramped up, was up on the mountain the first time. And literally the mountain just crumbled from up under me. I was very apprehensive to say the least. So, I went to the ultrasound and then she was in there kicking and moving all around. And the lady was like, there's the baby right there. And I was so stoic and just like so nonchalant to the fact that I was like, I don't want to get invested in this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to pour all of that same energy in the.
No, I feel you, sister. DeVale was my rainbow baby, and I literally was like probably a month out when I found out again that I was pregnant with her, and I understand.
I'm gonna try to keep it together. So
okay,
it was
safe space.
It was a time. So once I got past a certain point, closer to her being due, I started to get the happy feelings and we kind of made it or whatever. And like Miss J said, I was working, I was gigging. Do you hear me? Because I knew it was gonna be me having to take care of this baby, and I knew that I needed this, and that, this. I need to get this situated. I was literally at work, and they all would be like, "Here come Miss Waddles. She just wilding." I was big as all get out, but I was doing what I needed to do. Now, was that a good thing? I'm not sure, because eventually that led me to having to go to the doctor because I started spotting or whatever the case may be. So I went in just like, yeah, let me just go in because I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this. And they was like, your fluid is low. We had to admit you. I'm thinking I'm just about to go in, get checked out, you fine, go home. That's not what had happened at all. So she was like, oh, we gonna have to keep you. I was like, oh, I ain't bringing nothing with. I do, I wasn't expecting this.
Like I was not prepared.
I wasn't. Luckily, I had doulas.
Shout out to doulas.
Hey,
Yes.
Luckily, I had doulas. So I called my doula and I'm like, they're admitting me. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they're admitting me because I'm spying, whatever. So she came to my house. She got my stuff, and she was up there with me the whole time. And Grace, shout out to Grace, and and then Jasmine came as well. So they were with me the whole time. But I was wanting to do it natural. That's not what had happened. They ended up inducing me. Then my baby was in there for 24 hours with no fluid on her. Like they doing all type of stuff. They putting tablets in there and balloons and little apparatuses, and then just baby, all sorts of stuff was going on. But eventually 52 hours later, via emergency C-section.
Wow.
Here come little Miss Lamarielle. She still wasn't even trying to come in. She was going up instead of coming down. And I'm like, what's going on here? Come here, mama. Come here. It's her nap time. She getting white. But yeah, I was attempting to do something and it didn't work out that way. And they talk about they was going to give me a C-section. My mind locked up. I can't even say no other word than, oh, we got to do a C-section. I said, what? You finna cut me? Oh, Lord. I just went into straight panic mode because I had heard so many horror stories surrounding cesareans and the epidurals and how your legs go out and you can't feel it. I was petrified. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Even though them pains was killing me. I thought I was about to die every one that hit me. You know, like, oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, I don't know how much more this I got in me.
Yes, Lord. Them pains
they kept turning their Pitocin up, trying to give me the high. I got to 6 and wouldn't go no further. So that's what she was another like, joke. Okay, we're gonna have to come and get her because she's not trying to come out on her own. I got some questions and stuff about that, but I'm not gonna go off into that. I feel like that should have been handled differently. But you know what I'm saying? She's here now. She's healthy or whatever. Yeah, and that left me with a whole lot of questions.
And speak on it, because I think that's a lot of Black women's, we have questions. We have these birthing experiences that are traumatic. And if we don't speak on it, then they're going to keep acting like what they're doing to us is nothing. So honey, you speak on it. If you have questions that you have the right to question that.
And when I did, they was like, oh, it's nothing, it's all right, this happens all the time, yada yada. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, like, the mother in me is like, I know you lying. I know you lying to me. I know they weren't supposed to go like that. You know what I mean? Like,
they don't want to validate your feelings, and they're just acting like you should just be okay with what they're doing.
Like, no, everything is fine, you know. And I was like, it can't be. It can't be. That's not how that's supposed to play out. It can't be.
Right. And one of the reasons I will say that I had a C-section was because they had me pushing when I was only 7 centimeters. I wasn't the full 10. So my son was also in there with not a lot of fluids for a long time. And so they had me pause on pushing. Let's try to put some more fluids back in there, and it didn't work. So I had to have a C-section. So I'm like, how are you a nurse up in here and don't know that I'm not fully dilated to 10? This is crazy. So, and my doctor, my OB was the one that actually caught it. Like, they ended up calling her and she was like, she's not all the way dilated. Like, what are you doing? So yeah.
And this is when we say Black women are 3 times more likely to die in childbirth from situations that can be prevented.
Right.
That was preventable. The doctor, the nurse should have known that you were not ready to push so that you wouldn't be pushing. That was
Exactly.
real. So this is what we talk about when we say those things and how real it is. These are real women telling y'all real stories. This is their life experiences. So this is real when we're talking about this as being what's happening. So
it's crazy because even when I said to them, I said, wait a minute, y'all done pull y'all done introduced me to make her come. Now y'all doing all of this other extra stuff. If she was ready to come, all of these things wouldn't be necessary. Number one. Right. Number two, you done left me here for 24 plus hours with no fluid on my baby. Number three, now here you come telling me after you done turned the Pitocin level up to 27, the highest, the max it'll go, and I'm not moving past 6 centimeters. There's clearly something wrong here. She steady moving up. She wasn't coming down. Mari was moving further up in my ribs. Like, what's going on down there? What are they doing?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, wait a minute. Even my doula was like, why is your stomach going up instead of dropping? And then I asked them, oh no, she's fine. It's stuff moving around in there. She's not familiar. And I was saying to myself, but you know, I ain't trying to get into religion or whatever, but God and her know when it's time for her to get here.
Right.
What is y'all doing?
What is y'all experimenting and stuff? Yes.
Exactly.
And then when I'm asking questions, you're not even giving me a valid answer. You just keep telling me it's okay.
It's okay. No, it's fine. Okay, we're gonna try this now. Hopefully this will get her to calm down. And I'm saying, yeah, she gotta calm down now, because so that triggered my mind to say, you're right, we gotta get her out now.
Right.
Because you done did all of this other stuff.
Yes. So now you're wondering, what have you done?
Now I'm like, what have you done to my baby?
Yes.
How is what hospital is this?
Yes. Yes.
Mercy.
Oh, don't get me on Mercy.
Okay, let's write a reviews.
Don't get me on Mercy.
Mercy.
Yeah, I went to Mercy.
Like,
yeah, don't get me started on Mercy.
Come on now. I didn't even know that. I thought Mercy was a good hospital because I'm not from St. Louis, so that was a lot of things I don't know.
That's just like, I just saw a show. Shout out to Red Table Talk, Jada. They just did a show, and the lady was talking about childbirth, and she said the same thing that I thought too. Like, I'm gonna go to Mercy. They a good provider. I hear all this great stuff about them, so I'm gonna go, and they're gonna take care of me. And I had my worst experience there. And when I got pregnant the second time, I'm like, I'm not going there. I said, I went to Barnes, where, you know, people have horror stories at Barnes too, but I was more comfortable at Barnes. They listened to me more at Barnes than I had the experience at Mercy. So, y'all, call it what it is. Call it how.
Yeah. So then I tried to breastfeed. Breastfeeding didn't work out for me. She wouldn't latch on. I don't think I had no milk in there, so that was down the drain. And then they kept forcing me in the hospital to keep putting her to it, and I'm like, first of all,
not no real support either.
I'm exhausted. Number one. Number two, why is you trying to keep getting her to do something that she don't want to do? But as soon as you put that bottle, she tearing the bottle down. But you keep talking about put it to look, you put too much pressure on me. Then I started feeling inadequate because I couldn't breastfeed my child.
I know.
Oh, it was a lot. But I love motherhood. Like I said, even given all the challenges and all the other stuff, I love being a mother. This is something that I never thought I would experience. So it's a great experience for me. But some of this stuff I could have did without.
Yes.
Some of the stuff I could have did without. You know, the support that came afterwards was phenomenal. I had a lot of help from Jamal. Of course, I had my doulas. By me not being here, I got a very small friend circle. They were there, and I appreciate that. So they come over, they cook, they ask me if I was okay, they watch the baby while I take a nap. All those things matter. Whether people understand or not, a good 2-3 hour nap can be the difference in your whole day.
Yes. Yes.
Baby.
That is even look at her. Even when they get older, like when toddler life, I would love for somebody to be like, "Hey, honey, I will come over there and watch y'all baby and let you, zoom in and do whatever you need to do. If it's like you can take a shower, if it's take a nap, that." Wow. Oh, look, that's why I say we as moms need to really get back into supporting each other, because. Man, that like I said, that makes a difference. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about the support of mothers, because I think that is another big thing that we lack, especially Black moms. We lack a lot of support in our homes and outside of our homes, our resources. We are lacking support. What is something that you think is beneficial in motherhood that is very much needed, but not talked about a lot? Kind of like what you were going to say about, friends coming over and, saying, hey, I got the baby while you take a nap. I don't think we uplift that enough.
That's huge, because I think that, going back to what Miss J said and what we have all said, we're expected to be super women. We're expected to put all the weight and everybody else's stress on top of our own stress and just keep chugging along like there's nothing wrong, like we good. Even when we dragging the ground, we still got somebody else trying to put something else on top of us. Like, wait a minute, don't you see? I'm already beat down. I got enough going on. I can't accept no more. But us being, I guess we have been put into this box, so we got to be strong. We don't know how to say no, hold on, and just wait a minute, and what about me? Because I have a hard time just thinking about myself, because I have multiple people that depend on me, that are constantly pulling from me, but ain't putting nothing back into me.
Yes.
In this year, 2021, I said, I'm going to start focusing on me some. And I had to tell some people no, and they didn't like that because they're not accustomed to me saying no. And it still feels weird to say no. But sometimes you got to say no. I need rest. I need to do, I can't do that. That's overextending me. I already got this going on today. And you still trying to pistol somebody else in over here. And we need to get back to the fact that it's okay for us not to be okay. And to tell people it's okay.
That's a gem. We need to, it's okay for us not to be okay.
It's okay for us
not to be not okay. Seek help.
Yes.
Let's say, I'm not okay, y'all. I am not okay.
And then I think another
thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, just with like what mothers can, with the supporting part, I think sometimes just people who are around us or who we think are our support system kind of offering a helping hand, because I know I'm not one that likes to ask for help, or people make you feel like they may like rush you or something, like, oh, I thought you were gonna be back at this time, and it's like, calm down, so I think the people who someone that's about to have a baby or had a baby, just offer here and there to like come and get the baby, or hey, you just go nap, like you said, like doulas and all that. I didn't know they did that, or else I probably would have thought about freaking natural or whatever, or getting a doula. But just offering, I think it's way better to have people who offer, because it makes it seem like they want to be there, they want to help you, versus asking for the help and it's just kind of like you're getting on their nerves. And I was always hesitant to ask for help because people made me feel like that, like they have their own lives and all that, and I get that. Yeah, and they have their own family, and I totally get that, but I was over here like struggling, you know what I'm saying? And that would have made all the difference in the world for someone to come over for a little bit, just to give me 2 seconds, to close my eyes or to take a bath, because we're not even going to get on how often I showered with my newborn around.
It's be real and raw. It's hard. It is really hard to shower.
It's especially with breastfeeding.
For me, it's the realness.
It's real. So keep it real around here, baby. We keep it real around. I ain't gonna even. It was some days I was like, I literally stink, and I'm just needing.
I smell myself.
Right? Like
not okay. Like but your breasts are leaking, or they hurt, or I haven't even.
Are you just tired? Are you just?
I just want to lay, and that's more important than cleaning myself.
It gets real. It is, because
it gets really bad.
Yeah, you're deprived of sleep, and we're talking like especially after the baby, you're deprived of sleep. Like you said, you're literally trying to keep focusing on breastfeeding. You're trying to focus on making sure that you're producing milk. Or
right.
Even if you're not breastfeeding, you up making bottles, and you're like be walking around like, oh Lord, I gotta get this bottle. The baby crying. I'm
not even gonna like tell you. Yes, it's like one morning I woke up and I was like, now when did I go into the kitchen and get this bottle? Because it's sitting right here. He's drinking, but I have no memory of walking into that kitchen.
Yes.
And I was so
nice like that. I'm like,
yes, it's just a mess. So it's like when just to have people who want to help you. Like,
that's a good one. And sometimes you don't even know what type of help you need. There were days I was
I
sitting
don't
there like,
know.
I don't even know what I want. I just want somebody, please. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Just another adult around would be awesome. I have two people who can't talk to me, my dog and my dang baby. Like I don't know. So
Literally,
yeah, just
like,
the offering like would be great.
like,
Honestly.
yes. Can we do that, y'all? Community, y'all heard this? Can we just start
Yes.
offering moms? Like,
Mhm.
hey, honey, I'll come over for a couple of hours and just sit with the baby, and you
Yes.
go in your room and whatever you need to do. Because sometimes you
Whatever
just
you
need
need
a
to do.
space to be by yourself and be alone.
Yes.
You ain't even need
Yes.
Yeah.
like, you just don't want nobody to touch you. I've had those days.
Right.
Sometimes just stop touching me, please. Like, I love y'all, but dang, I don't want to be touched. Like, I'm touched.
Yeah.
So your body, again, like I said, in motherhood, your body don't belong to you anymore.
No, they're attached to you 24/7 after
24/7.
that.
Even if you got a partner, they choose you.
Yes, they
Right.
do. They do.
Mhm.
Yes. No, where's my meal? No.
Your body is no longer yours. It's just somebody else's 24/7. It's like, how do you create that boundary with a infant
Right.
who don't really understand what you're
Yes.
telling
No.
them? You can't. You can't. So you have to
And it
detach
just
yourself. You
just
definitely
gets
have
worse
to
when they
detach
become a
yourself.
toddler.
Yes, y'all. Go
The
ahead.
other part of support is like, yeah, holding the baby. Like I think with my first, that was like the most annoying part because I needed help with like the dishes and some and eating. Or
Yes.
and sometimes I don't need you to come over and hold my baby. Like I need you to come take the trash out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Change that load of clothes out. Bring
Right.
me a
Right.
sandwich. Like I'm
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And
Because
that's
like now.
it's easier to eat when someone just brings you food already made. You're like, oh, I can eat that. You know, you don't
like,
gotta
you
worry
ain't
about
gotta make it up.
it.
And so
Yes.
what I'm also hearing too is that if you can't have the time, because I know you were saying that people have busy lives, let's start getting people postpartum doulas. Because that
So
will
I
help.
got one.
That will help. Go ahead.
I definitely, I had to get one. Like this pregnancy was definitely different, so I had to get me a birth doula. But I really, because of COVID and everything, because I'm like, I need somebody else to be there. But I also, I was really like, I need a postpartum doula because I'm like, the only way I'm like, forget that. Nobody knows what happened to the village, and I'm like, I came to the realization that the only way I was gonna get the help and support is if I pay somebody to come and give me that help and support. Latanya, you were saying that Jasmine was your doula? Jasmine Westfall?
Yes.
That was my doula. She was amazing for the birth.
Absolutely
Shout out to
amazing.
Jasmine.
Yeah,
Shout out doula.
Jasmine.
Yes.
Her thing is Jasmine Westfall doula. Baby Jasmine is the truth, honey. She sure came over, was like, I'm on my way. But yeah, I had her for a birth doula. And I also see my my postpartum doula in the comments, Candace.
Yeah, shout out to Candace. She was my postpartum doula. I love Candace. Shout out to her. She's a dope doula, and she does lactation counsel and all of that. And sis is a gem in the community. So shout out to her. Yeah, she is.
You know what? My now what's interesting, the my health insurance does not cover or recognize a doula.
No.
But they will recognize like lactation support. And I didn't even know that. But yes, yeah, Candace is amazing. Look, she coming over here tomorrow. I'm like, sis, I need you. And she wasn't even scheduled, but she was like, I got some time on Sunday. I'm gonna
yes. So I just wanted to say that for people who like, I want to help, I don't have the time, I'm sorry, I can't come over there and just sit. We need to normalize finding support for moms. And like I said, hiring postpartum doulas are definitely a way of doing that for them. And so we talked about support and what it should look like, and what needs to be normalized. Let's talk about like how the support of the moms group has helped your journey in being a mom and motherhood. What has that done for you all? Like for me, the connections alone. like other moms, just being around other moms who get it was like, whew, thank you.
Right.
Oh, I ain't the only one.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So how
and it's like a non-judgment zone, like, because like, like people have all their theories of, like you said, like the TV or sharing the bed and all that. You don't feel judged. Everyone has their own stories, but we still like are all moms and we still all get it. They still accept you for you. There's no judging going on. So it's just like, oh, okay, I can cry to y'all. I can share that. My toddler had my dang on AirPods in his mouth and I tried to run after him and fell off the couch onto his basketball hoop. Okay, we can laugh, you can share those stories. And it's like, it's a fun to have like a community that like understands you, instead of like when I was going through my postpartum, I felt like I was explaining to people and it was just like explaining to a brick wall. It's like, okay, you're not getting it, and you're frustrated, like like that's not helping me. Okay, you don't get it, like you don't have to do all that with the mom group because they all get it, they all understand. We can share those feelings about possibly wanting to throw your baby out the window, maybe not saying that you did it, but you can just share like those funny stories and they get it. They're not like, oh, let me call CPS, like we all get we all get what we're all going through, even though it's different experiences. Everyone has like good advice, like, hey, I tried this, or someone's like, oh, well, you can do this, and you're like, oh, I didn't even think of that. So it's just been like total life changing that there are people out there that actually are going through the same thing, who are thinking the same things. And I was like, that was one thing about me, is I didn't want to open up because people are going to judge me. There's no way you are going through this. You know what I'm saying? But they are. So yeah.
And I like how you said that. It's like sometimes it's not that moms don't want to say something or speak up. It's the part of being scared to be shamed for doing it.
Yes.
Especially when you talk about the troubles of motherhood. People are like, oh, you're a bad mom. How dare you say that?
Yes.
Like, what? No, I'm like being honest here. Like, I'm just, like you said, it doesn't matter. Like it even though like Miss like she was saying, Latanya was saying, it's not like I don't enjoy motherhood. I love being a mother. I'm grateful for the gift to be someone's mother, but it's still challenging as hell.
It's still challenging. And it's not always, like we were saying in the beginning, all, peaches and cream.
It's not peaches and cream. It's not.
You're going to have bad days. Where I'm like, why are you screaming at the top of your... Do not recommend It's Ghetto.
Motherhood is ghetto.
It's a smidge ghetto, but like you love it. You love doing it. They're so cute. They're fun, but not 24/7. It's not always, great. You wanna, like he has his days.
You want to still be you. You want a moment to still be who you are, and that's another thing we don't get to do. It's like once we become moms, people forget all about other things that we've had, all the other jobs or the titles that we had. They like
right.
You forget it. You be like, oh, I'm just a mom now, so I just got to be a mom.
I'm not Latanya no more. I'm Mari's mom. Like when somebody like the first thing I'm like, oh, I'm Lamarielle or Mari's mom. I'm like, but no, Latanya, who are you? Like you were something before you became Mari's mom.
It's like your name is replaced with not Latanya Shantane Jamila. It's mom. Then and
your list goes down. And I've done that too. I was having a conversation and I was going to be featured in a paper, and that was like, what makes you great? And I was like, I guess being a mother. And shout out to Kim. She's also in the comments. She was like, that's not the only thing that makes you great. I was like, I don't know. Because that's all I could think about.
That's like the number one thing.
That's the number one thing you think about. You think about
and that was in the moms group too. We were talking like, well, we need to get back to ourselves. Like, what makes you happy? What makes you? And it was like, I had totally forgot about that. Like, and then you feel bad when you're like, okay, I'm gonna take you to daycare, even though I don't have to work, just so I can get some laundry.
Let's normalize that. It's okay to get some sitters, so you can just do you, sis. Because I had a struggle with that too. I had a struggle with that. I'm like, Savannah, this is supposed to be your job. You're supposed to be the mom. You're supposed to be doing it all. Like, this is what you're supposed to be
like
doing.
this
No
is
one
your
else is supposed to help
child.
you. You're the
This
mom.
is your responsibility. This is
But it's
your
like,
baby. You take care of them. And it was just like, dang it, if I would have thought about this a year ago, I would be in a really great place because I wasted that whole year being like, no, this is your baby. You gotta, because people shame you for these things. But let's normalize it because self-care, mental health, all of that postpartum, it is real. And you don't really know until you are in it, but it is so real. So please let's normalize that, please.
Yes, let's normalize moms still doing them.
Yeah, that's true.
Being more than a mom.
But you was gonna say,
like, my friends be like, I ain't heard from you in a month. And I'm like, oh, my bad. It only seems like last week to me, but it's been a month.
Cause you be so I be feeling like a bad friend. Shout out to my friends who still my friends. I don't nobody. I be like, Lord, I'm sorry, between community work and motherhood, and I just don't have time for socializing. And when I do, it's awkward because I feel bad because I feel like maybe I should be at home being a mom. Like, what am I doing here? I should just be sitting at home. But yeah, it feels weird. It feels awkward. But no, we need those. We need to do those things. So shout out to the people and the friends that come and be like, nah, I have some friends that be like, girl, come on, let's go. So shout out to them. But yeah, we do. Moms, if y'all listening, find y'all whatever y'all fun thing is. If it's going out once a week and kicking it with your homegirls and you can find someone to keep your baby, do it, sis. Don't let nobody shame you. Do it. Have yourself.
Sometimes I might have my kid with me. Like, I know, let me see, when I became I guess a solo parent, or just being like separated, I just got to end up getting to a place like, it's my life, my responsibility. And I don't know if it's my age, but I'm like, you know what, the kids, they not stopping nothing. They are, in addition to, they getting accustomed to my life. We got to take our power back as women, as the matriarch. Like, no, the kids, like, I brought you in, you got to get accustomed to what mommy got going on. So maybe you will see me and my daughter out at the beach. Yes. You see us out in a restaurant.
Yeah, being out.
And it's just like, hey, with like friends or family or whatever, like my family, if we having like a party at a banquet hall or something like that, the kids is welcome, or everybody watches everybody's kids or whatever. If it's like a get together, I mean, sometimes I will get a sitter, but like my mom. But see, that's the other part of the other struggle of being a mom, is like the letting go. That's probably the biggest thing that I got from Kim and also the moms group, is that motherhood is all about letting go. So I know sometimes it's like, yeah, I'd rather have my kids with me than trying to get a sitter. I'm like, sure, the kids, they could turn up too.
I think that's great. I think a lot of that right now with COVID has been a struggle.
Yeah,
that has personally for me has really been a struggle. Because I'm right there with you. Like, I used to love going to like the libraries and doing story times with Devea and going out and being out, but COVID really shut that down, and so I had
to especially because Mari's high risk due to, we're not gonna get into that, but Mari's high risk, so that in and of itself put me in a whole panic mind frame. Like, I don't do nothing. I online shop. My groceries get dropped off at the house. Like,
right.
My circle was already small to begin with. It like literally shrunk. Like, at one point I felt like the walls were closing in. Like, it just got that tight around me. Because her health and everything is way more important. I was working. I was let go of my job just so that I wouldn't have to subject her to going to the daycares, because I know other people still have to work and whatever. Mm-hmm. I was fortunate enough to be able to fall back. I had hustled so hard when I was pregnant with her that I had, got myself in a decent little place where I could be like, you know what? I'm finna fall back, because I'm not really sure if it'll affect her or whatever, but I couldn't even run the risk. Yeah. Like, it was too great of a thought for me to even conceive.
Right.
So I was like, I can't work here no more. I can't take her to the daycare because I don't know what that would look like. So yeah, it got really, really bad. And it took me going to the moms groups before having her to realize, okay, Latina, you starting to get into this real dark place because now your thoughts are consuming your life. You fearful about everything, but it was out of love and care for her. But at the same time, those thoughts had become evasive. They had taken over. I couldn't see past the what ifs. And it might. But so yeah, my friends would be like, "Girl, I ain't heard from you in a month or two," and I'm like, "Girl, I talked to you last week." She was like, "No, it's not."
Trying to protect, and that's one thing. Motherhood, we be so protective of our babies.
Yeah,
I know someone said in the comment that getting a sitter. Right, you be so.
I have a sitter. I
was saying they were saying that they didn't want to get a sitter.
I can't. I can't even take her to the sitter, and I trust the sitter. You hear me?
Yeah,
I trust the sitter.
Right.
I can't even take her to the sitter because I would rather she was with me. I know that's probably an issue. I know that.
No.
But I can't see past that. You know what I mean? I'm like, you take this as seriously as I do. You know the situation it is pertaining to her. But even like, no, you need some time. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
No, you good. Look,
it's just like I trust the sitter and I still can't let go. Y'all talk about the letting go. I don't know how to let go. It's been me and her forever.
It's hard.
And even having somebody that I trust, I still have like, no, I'll just take her with me. It's okay. She can go with me.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's like it's hard. It is hard.
It is.
It's hard. Like you said, even if you know it's somebody that you trust, you still like can't nobody care for your baby like you can. So it's hard.
Exactly.
It's just like, no, I know that you're gonna do the very best, and I know you super precautious and all of that. I'd rather take her with me. No, it's not a big deal. I'll take her.
And that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
Mother, what we trying to show y'all is ain't always them thoughts and that stuff is not pretty, but
it's not.
This is not an easy road. But like we said, it's rewarding, but it's definitely easy.
I wouldn't trade it for anything. But everybody got their own journey.
Everybody got their own journey. And
everybody has their own.
Everybody motherhood ain't everybody motherhood. It ain't all the same. That's like ain't no hood like every hood. It's all different.
That is so true.
But you be like, you rep your hood, so we rep another hood.
Hey,
it's rep your hood. So it's not. Everybody's journey is different. And everybody's experience different. Some people want to take their kids to daycare and they're fine. Some people like, nah, I'm good. I ain't taking my baby to daycare. I'm good. I stay home. Staying at home is hard. Leaving your kids is hard. Everything is hard either way you think about it, but you gotta do what's right for you. And that's what and what we need to not do is shame people for doing what's right for them. No matter what that is. No matter what it is. If you had a C-section, you had a C-section. If you had a natural birth, you had a natural birth. If you didn't have a natural birth, if you had medication, whatever you had was what you needed to do to get your baby life here. Whatever you're doing now, if you're breastfeeding, if you ain't breastfeeding, whatever you're doing now, you're taking care of your baby still. And it's valid. We have to stop hanging each other against each other. Well, she did that or she did that. Why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. No, that's just is struggling. She's trying to do what's best for her and her baby. And that might not look like your picture.
Absolutely. Period.
It might not look like your picture, but she's doing what she got to do. And it's hard.
That's why I made that comment saying it's ghetto because it's all these expectations and really we all winging it. Like there's no rule book, there's no set of instructions or nothing. You just got to trial and error, do what works and find your rhythm and whatever that may be. So
it's like there's no right or wrong. Yeah.
No, it's not. You gotta do what works. Cause that's moms just gotta make it happen. It don't matter if you I know we're talking a lot about being Black women and things, but one thing about it, just being a mother, it just really like unites us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more, we all can relate to the struggles that come with it, whether you single,
right,
married.
that's a common thread. You're a mother, period.
Yes.
And that's why it's like everyone's different. Just like every mom is different, every child is different. So you know what works for your baby, what works for your toddler. Like, oh, well, my toddler, like, oh, we're not doing, baby food just yet. Okay, well, mine is hungry. He gonna eat this thing. He gonna eat this table food. Like, like everyone is different. Like just because they have like the guidelines from your pediatrician or whatever doesn't necessarily mean you can't try it or they're not ready or whatever. Like every child is different, and you know your baby.
And that's another thing. I like that you highlight that, because that's nothing, like even with them growing and going through milestones, they love to put them in boxes, and if they not checked off their box, they have you stressed out that something wrong with your baby.
That something's wrong with your baby.
I've had that oh Lord, I've had that so many times. Like, okay, like she know this, she know that, she know that. Well, what do you mean? How does she have this? What is that?
Or they're not saying as many words or whatever. And I'm like, but he's so smart. But he's doing this. He was walking before one. He was doing this. He was rolling over. Like, wait, what? Like, my baby is so smart.
Maybe
like,
she just don't want to talk.
Like, maybe he don't want to talk to you. How about he just don't want to take your head off right now? Like,
absolutely.
Like just let your baby go at their own pace. And when they're like people are like, oh, well, my baby isn't really eating. Well, if they were hungry, they would. So they're not going to starve themselves. So just let them do them.
They're individuals, just like we are. They have to take their own path. You want to cookie cut everybody. We're all not supposed to be cookie cutter. That's all. We all look the same, talk the same, walk the same thing. We're not cookie cutter. Our children are little bitty people who are becoming big people. Let them do them.
And they have their own personality.
Yes. Just let them do that. Let them be great.
And you like literally learning them. You learning them, and they learning you. You're learning them, and they're learning you. So it's going to change. It definitely changes. It changes.
Right.
It definitely changes. They be like, what happened to this little quiet little thing? And then they might turn out to be this whole talkative person.
Right. Like it's just like those guidelines. I just don't like them. Like, because it's like, just let your baby do them. Like, if there's not nothing like super wrong with like, limbs or nothing, like they're just not walking at 3, then okay, let's look into this. But like, let them do their own thing. They're individuals. Like we were saying, they have their own personalities. They're fine. Like, get them out of that box, please. Oh my goodness gracious.
Is your baby potty trained? My baby's potty trained. They was potty trained at this old. Oh my God, it's still on the bottle. It's on the sippy cup. And I'm like, wait, pause.
Or even the comments of people that don't even know you for real, who ain't going through that. Did you get that done yet? Has she done this yet? Did you do that yet? Like, come on.
How about I couldn't get off the couch for 2 hours? Leave me alone. Like, we're just woosahing right now. Like, goodness gracious.
Like, you all over here, like, but ain't really over here. Like, you ain't helping, but you over there.
Or people who have already raised their kids, or people who don't even have kids yet, but they're going off of those guidelines. Like, things have changed, or you don't have kids. Calm down, okay?
Yes, calm down.
You almost triggered me with that one, with people that's got older kids, girl. Ooh, and they even remember.
Times have changed.
Right.
Sorry.
Like, I'm sorry. That was like 20 decades ago. Okay, we is in a whole new thing going on. Okay.
Oh yeah, let me tell y'all something funny. So, just to kind of lighten it up. So, I was visiting my mom's, right? I was visiting my mom's, and I'm like, okay, we leaving. So she watching me walk to the car, and I just dropped baby in the back seat, like, boop. She was like, you ain't gonna strap her in. You gotta wrap the whole seatbelt. I say, Mom, it's the new stuff. You just click it out.
You just click it and that's it. We gonna keep it pushing.
Yes. I'm like, they didn't really update. I'm like, they really update these.
Yes.
And I mean, because compared to when I had Devea to Delilah, I'd be like, oh, look at like the little stroller that they got now that's so cute and compact. I'd be like, oh, if I had like the Delilah was an only child, I probably would really have that. But I got the big old bus. I call it a bus. It's a 2-seat stroller. But it be so little and compact, and I'll be like, that is
Girl,
so convenient.
I love my double stroller, and it just
Like,
falls down so smooth. I feel like I'm pushing a little Bentley or something. I'm like, oh, it just.
Girl, I call it the bus.
Because the one I had a couple of years ago, the single one, they had to update that design because it was I was struggling with that. But now all I do is just pull it back and it just fold down real smooth.
And let me say,
because it's new, right?
When we talking about gadgets, like, do y'all ever think back and be like, why did I even buy some of that stuff? Like, we didn't even use it. Even the second time, like, I saved a lot of stuff or whatever, and I'm glad I did. But I still was like, my pack and play for the most part, because they had the cribs and stuff. It did not get utilized. I was like, and I brought one, you know, and I'm like, it did not really get utilized because they had cribs, and I'm like, well, I think I'm gonna need
or
it.
some of those swings too, because it's like he was so mobile that it was like literally from 3-4 weeks he was all into everything, like they're exploring. So it's like he barely used that. Like before I knew it, I was like, oh, you don't even need this no more.
Like you done spent all this money on it, toys and all.
Silly. Yes.
Toys and all, I swear. I mean,
I love my swing.
All my stuff, and I donated it to one of the agencies locally that helps moms. And I was like, this stuff is just collecting dust, serves no purpose. Let me get rid of this because it was just cluttered up. I'm like, yeah, this was all just a waste of money.
Yes, because you get so excited. You do. You be like, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna get, and then the baby showers, and people give you all the stuff at the baby showers. Which, hey, let's normalize again doulas. Let's people doulas for baby showers now. Okay, let's make a doula fun. Yeah,
baby, I sure did.
Yeah,
I'm like diapers, wipes, and money for the doula.
Yeah, let's normalize that because half the time, them gadgets, like you said, you passing along, which is great. You can, give it to somebody else to use, but you still like, dang, all that money, and it's gone. But a lot of that stuff you don't even use, man. It's real.
Right.
Latanya, what organization locally accepts donations to help out moms?
I donated my things to the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. That's where I donated a lot of her swings, her walker, the little pusher thing. Yeah, a lot of her other toys. I took it to the St. Louis Crisis Nursery.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Shout out to the Crisis Nursery. I know Jamal takes donations and stuff like that also. Yeah, so there's a lot of I don't know if Nurses for Newborns take donations, but that's another organization. I don't think they do, right, but you can tap into to get resources and things like that.
Helping Hand-Me-Downs takes donations too. So Jamal, the Crisis Nursery, and Helping Hand-Me-Downs. Our little Haven does, depending on what it is. And so there's no shortage of organizations that will take donations.
Yeah, and if you are someone that you want to donate, but you might need the coins, sis. There's Once Upon a Child. Shout out to them. They pay a little bit for certain stuff, gently used things and items. You can always, like, maybe say, for instance, if you got a swing and you want to buy your baby some new toys, you can go buy that. Let them buy that from you and utilize that coin to buy something different if you need it or whatever. Like a trade value or whatever. So tap into those. That's one great thing too that I found, because people like to shame that stuff too. Used items and stuff like that. Let me tell you something, honey. If I can get a coin, save a coin, I'm gonna do that and help utilize and go somewhere else. It can go somewhere else. So saving coins is definitely a part of the process.
Right, and they're gonna grow so fast out of it anyway. Right.
As soon as you turn around, you be like, you only wore this twice, so you can't fit it
right. So you might as well get something used that they're not even gonna use for.
Especially when they gonna get dirty, and then you gonna you yelling at your baby because you done brought them new J's and they done dirty them up. What they supposed to do? They gonna run around. Like,
they gonna run around.
Yeah, so
they're gonna be kids.
They gonna be kids. Let them be kids in them $2 shoes that you ain't gonna stress about. You'll be all right, girl. Look, but yes. So again, ladies, thank you all for being here having this conversation. I appreciate it. I do want to give Kim the spotlight for a moment to talk about the moms group and give us a little info on the moms group, and for moms who may be watching or who may see this and know that this is a resource for them to utilize. And again, shout out to Jamal Birth Village, as they do hold space for one of the groups at moms groups. Two of the groups, I'm sorry. But go ahead, Kim, go on and let us know about the moms group.
Well, I think all the moms talking about it did a great job of showcasing what the moms groups does, because this is kind of like a moms group, only we're doing it live.
Yeah.
Talking about all the things and supporting one another, and that everybody gets it. And so the moms groups are facilitated by peers. So all of the volunteers and staff members that support the moms line and the moms groups are all moms, so they get it. And then they all go through our training around perinatal mood and anxiety disorders, and learn more about what it means to be a peer support. So the groups are facilitated, they're free, they're for any mom in the St. Louis area, no matter where she's birthed. We are SSM St. Mary's is our main sponsor. That's who funds the moms line. And the groups are open for any mom, no matter where she birthed or who her provider is, or how she's coming into this space. She can just call us, or she can just show up in a group. Because right now all the groups are on Zoom, so she can just click into a group. You can go to St. Mary's. If you Google St. Mary's Moms Line or St. Mary's Moms Group, it'll come up and you can see when all the groups are. And I'm so grateful for Jama for hosting. When we're in person, Jama has two groups, the Monday morning and the Tuesday evening groups, and we can't wait to get back to in person.
Yeah.
Because in person, it's so great that we have Zoom, and I know a lot of us didn't even know anything about Zoom until all of this occurred over the last year.
Right.
And so it's great to be in community like this, but there's nothing compared to that being in person, and being in a space where, as you all said, where there's no judgment, and we truly all get it. And we do believe, like, one of the core values of the moms line and the moms groups is that we believe you are the expert of your family. And we're holding space as you come into that, figure it out, try things on. Because I know when I became a mom, I was an expert. I thought I was an expert before I became a mom, and like my whole life. And then I became a mom and I didn't feel like an expert of anything. And so I really needed those other moms to hold space for me as I was figuring out like what really works for me. And so just really grateful. And I think the other thing too that I just want to mention is that, we're all good moms no matter what we're doing. We're all going to make different choices.
Yes.
And you can be a good mom and you can be sad. You can be a good mom and be happy at times. You could be a good mom and not want to be with your kids and take a break. I mean, we're good moms, and but we have as you've all mentioned, we have so many facets to us. And that's what makes, I think, the moms groups even more, I don't know, such a community support, because there's all different types of moms who come together in all these different groups. So yeah, thanks for letting me share about it. Thanks for having us here today. It's so great to be able to just watch and, as for me, like just watching as moms flourish, because you get support that you need and you get validated for this work that we're doing, because most people aren't out there validating us,
No, they are not, and we must do that ourselves. And yes, thank you for the space. Personally, like I said, I found out about the moms group after having Devea, and I myself did not know that I was dealing with postpartum depression, and I just felt alone. And I remember, shout out to Amber, she was like, Jamal has these moms groups, you should tap into it and see, it might help. Went in, and the rest is history. And the moms group, along with Jamal, has kind of been just a push for me into a lot of what is now present. So shout out to Kim. You were like one of the first to help me, and shout out again to Jamal and the amazing things that they are doing. And thank you, ladies, for being here, and holding space for me when I've had my days. Because like I said, I've been part of the moms group in there, and like a mess, and sometimes it's even still. I tap in when I can, because it is definitely some place where you feel safe to just vent. And if you have questions, you get answers, and sometimes you don't get answers, and sometimes you just get okay, I'm not alone, and that goes a long way. Before I do want to kind of get into real quick to talk about, because I know we talked about things like how we feel, some of the rough things in motherhood. I do want to ask, what has been rewarding in your journey of motherhood? I do want to leave on, like, kind of end it on a little bit of this note. What has been rewarding? For me, I would say the unconditional love that I know my child has for me. Even through those bad days, even in those bad days, I would say I know that, they both still truly, truly love me. Even when I feel like they don't want to be bothered with me. Because they have their own space and times too. I know that they still love me unconditionally. So that has been rewarding for me as a mother.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of that, yes, it's like the unconditional love, and also he kind of gave me purpose. Like at first, I kind of was just going through the motions or dealing with, bad relationships, whether that was, romantic or family or friends or whatever. And it was like he gave me purpose to look forward to things, to look forward to days, and making myself like, okay, self-care is great, because if I'm not okay, he's not okay. So he kind of just made me look deeper into things, like, okay, if someone is negative energy for my life, just separate him. He's not gonna see me get treated any other type of way. He's not gonna know that part, So yeah, he just gave me purpose, and the real meaning of taking care of myself and us. So yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that.
What I really love and enjoy being a woman. So being a mother has definitely been an elevating experience. It's like the next level of motherhood. Hey, get off of my microwave. Yeah, I cannot stop my 3-year-old from using
that's motherhood right there.
No, I'll cook for you.
She like, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat now.
No, I just heard those buttons. It's like, boop, boop, boop. I'm like, oh no. But I love, it's just like the next level of being a woman. And it's such a blessing. Like, it's just the elevation for me. It definitely just takes me higher on that path of the divine feminine. Like, it's just so amazing. Like, I'm in the matriarch, it's just, I just love like just being just the feminineness of it all. Like, even though I'm independent and I'm strong and I hold it down because I have to, but just being able to just be a woman and just, be a mom, like, it's just also amazing.
Like, you make human beings, like men can't do that.
Right. Yes. Right, like you literally do that.
Man, look pretty good at it too. Look at these pretty babies.
I know, right? Pretty babies. You hear me? They don't even grace the Hood Talks podcast platform. Yes, come through, little ones. I love it. I love it. Yes. And Miss Latanya, for you?
For me, motherhood is the best thing this side of earth. I absolutely love it. At the same time, I be beat down and tired some days because she's just so busy. And I just be like, if you could just touch me and let some of the energy flow out your body into my body,
I know
we'd be okay. But I did want to say this one thing to the whole COVID situation. Even though COVID caused a lot of havoc it also brought me a lot of joy. With that being said, baby, where did you throw your spoon? Where did your spoon go? Well, I don't know either.
Baby, she is upset. Find it.
There you go. Thank you, sweetie.
She like, excuse me. I love y'all don't understand. I am so glad y'all inputted the kids because this was real. This is showing them real life, and we like to keep it real and raw on the Hood Talks podcast. And I know you had offered the child care and all that, Kim, but this is it. This shows really what I really want, and I love it. The baby's in the background, like, no, wait a minute, you still gotta be my mama, no matter what you're doing right now.
Right, I don't care.
It's just because they know we on here. It's just because they know we on here. They want to show out.
I'm showing out, little ones. I love it. Show out.
I was able to watch her take her first steps. That would have been something that somebody would have told me secondhand had it not been for the decision that I made during COVID. So even though it had its challenges, COVID also brought me a lot of happiness. That is something that I will cherish forever. I remember just like it was yesterday that occurred, you know? And it's just like, but what if it had not been for this? What if you had not been put in a situation where you had to make a decision to put your child first? Because before that, I didn't necessarily have the luxury to just be like, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean? That wasn't something that was ideal in my world at the time. But I was able to take advantage of that and say, you know what? I'm going to do what's best for my child. And I'm going to make some sacrifices in our life. Yeah, we might have to get a little tight over here and I can't eat out as much and whatever the case may be. But that is a very awesome highlight for me as a mother that I actually watch. And a lot of women don't get to experience that because we do have to work and take care of our households and our children. But I'm grateful for that. I am extremely grateful for watching her milestones that I get to see with my own eyes and not have to hear or live secondhand. You know what I mean? That for me is what motherhood is about.
I mean, that's a real situation too, that a lot of women, don't have the luxury.
They don't have, and I didn't either. That was a sacrifice for me, but that was a sacrifice that I'll make over and over and over again if I have to.
Right. And that to me is another thing when I talk about the support, when we're talking about supporting, because some women are the only person in that household and they have to go out here and be the breadwinner, and so they have sacrificed their motherhood. And let's not get it twisted, because I've been a stay-at-home mom. It ain't easy. It's a lot of struggle too, baby. It is a struggle within itself. I'm grateful and I thank God, but it is definitely a struggle also. But I do understand what you mean, and I think back and be like, those moments that I got that I probably wouldn't have been able to get. Shout out to my partner, and shout out to my family, and supports or whatever. But I probably wouldn't have been able to have those experiences. But it is, and my hope is that we find whatever it looks like for a mother, whatever that may look like for her. Because some women like, hey, sis, I don't want to be at home. And that's fine too, girl. Hey, exactly. But whatever it is for them, let's find the support, give them the support they need to help them climb. And that means if they want to stay at home, how can we support them around staying home? What services can we provide for them to help them stay at home? If they want to go to work, what services can we support them in to give them so they can go to work? So making sure that we're looking at the mom and her situation in the family, and how do we support them around that? And when I say we, I mean us as the community. I mean these local elected officials out here making these crazy, look, don't let me get started on that. Who's out here making these crazy laws and just ruling out people. Like, what can we do to help them, no matter what it looks like for them? Because we just said, right, every motherhood experience is different. So we can't keep boxing women in motherhood into one box and think like everybody's supposed to fall into that. That's not how it works. Every child is different, every mother is different, and every experience is different. So let's figure out how we can support them in what they need. And I'm gonna get off.
Listen to the moms.
Absolutely.
Listen to
the moms.
The Hood Talks podcast just did it for y'all. Listen to them. Listen to what they're saying. Let's listen. And it's a lot of organizations. Shout out to Flourish. Flourish is really doing some game changing work and talking about putting community voices first and hearing and listening to women and Black women in motherhood and birthing experience and all of that. They're out here. People are out here speaking up. And so, right, like you said, just listen. Listen, when you're in them birthing rooms, doctors, nurses, when you're in those rooms and these women are talking and saying something is not right, listen. Listen. That's the key. Listen. And then support. All right. Well, y'all, again, thanks to everybody. Shout out to the comments. Shout out to one special comment. If y'all see the Hood Talks host, Vanna, that was not me. But shout out to him for commenting and tuning into this episode. And again, shout out to like everyone that tuned in and watched. Shout out to everyone that shared. I will definitely make sure to do the drawing a little bit after this. I do want to say what's coming up in June. Motherhood has been great. Mother's Day has been absolutely great, but we will be tapping into Black men in June. We have for the first show on June 5th, Black Men Heal. We're talking about a conversation around mental health for Black men. Tune into that. That will be a live show. And we have June 12th, we're talking about fatherhood, which is another, I feel like, important topic that we definitely need to highlight because Black fathers are real. Black fathers are in the game, and Black fathers do matter just as much as mothers. So we do want to highlight that and talk to that. And we have added a third episode. We are doing Back to the Land, where we're talking to urban gardeners and farmers and having a conversation around that. So please, y'all, keep tuning in. Thank you all again for watching and sharing this video, and thank you for being supportive to the Hood Talks podcast. And on that note, we are out.
Thanks.